Just a review of a t-shirt, online t-shirt, custom t-shirt company called Rush Order Tees. There are a lot of them out there, and I just wanted to talk about my experience and some of the stuff that I encountered and things I liked, things I didn't like. So this is the t-shirt I ordered, and it came out good. I mean, there's a few things I probably recommend to someone who wants to do this on their own. First and foremost, I would start with the material. I chose what's referred to as a tri-blend. If you like that really soft but thin, light material in your t-shirts, like I do, this tri-blend stuff is the way to go. And what that is usually it's a cotton polyester mix with something else, I forget what. But as you can see, it's very loose and light, and it's really a very soft material. So that's the first thing I would point out. And there are other options that make it a lot cheaper. You can go with 100% cotton. That stuff tends to shrink a lot quicker. It tends to be a little heavier and a little thicker. The other thing is you have to keep in mind that with some of these companies, they have a minimum order. So it kind of limits which ones you can choose. So if you've got, for instance, this particular tri-blend, I forget which one it was, but with some materials, they required that you order a minimum of 6 before they could do an order for you. The ones I obviously chose, I just wanted a minimum of 1. I just wanted to try out 1 t-shirt, see how I liked it. There are some companies that will also give you a sample t-shirt. I don't know how that works. I didn't do that. But usually with the predication that you're going to be ordering like 100 or 600 or 1,000 of these things. So I was just going to do 1. And one of the things that I saw in some of the reviews, and not just this company, but in others, is the process they use. I'm not really sure what the exact process is this one uses, but one of the complaints was that you could see the outline of the heat press they used. And you can kind of see that if I hold it back at a distance. You see this kind of very faint kind of box around here. So that was whatever they used to imprint this on the t-shirt. In some instances there, you can kind of see a very distinct line. I don't know if that washes out over time. Maybe it does. Maybe somebody out there knows a secret about getting rid of that. It honestly doesn't bother me. It's only visible in certain lighting conditions, and honestly, when you're wearing it, you can barely tell. I did like the color. Now, I will say I did have to go back and redo some of this because they charge you per color. You have to keep in mind that they count black and white as a color, obviously. But I guess the thing I'm trying to say is, The thing I'm trying to say is if you want to save some money, since they're charging you per color, if you're on a white t-shirt, make sure that you make the white transparent so that the color shows, so you're not getting charged for that white. In my case, wherever these black lines are, whether it was a dark gray or a black, I went with this kind of a charcoal gray. It's really like a smoky black, honestly. I just said, look, I'm just going to go back. I'm going to re-edit my design. And I made it so that all of the black is transparent. And the only real colors on here are this light gray, red, green, and white. So 4 colors, limits it. That immediately decreased the cost. Now, as far as the cost goes, and I'll show you real quick what the design looks like, but their little design process. They have an editor you can use. You can also just import. I imported this after I edited it, but then I also had to edit the image again, and I'll show you what that looks like. They're not, Rush Order Tees is the company I ordered it from. They're not the only company that does this, nor are they the only company that uses, and I'm not joking, the exact same editor. So I'm guessing they probably purchased it from a third-party software developer that makes t-shirt design editors, but we'll go into that in a little bit. Again, this video is not going to be very long, but I just wanted to show this t-shirt I made. I'll talk about the cost here in a second. Let me just go ahead and go over to my computer, and we'll talk about what this ended up being. You get this kind of like, let's go to add clip art. There's add text. Now, I didn't like the add text because the text editor doesn't allow you to put different size fonts or even different styled fonts in the same line. And I think they charge you per line of text. So I had to do line of text 1, line of text 2, make this one bigger. What I ended up doing is just going back into like a free application like Krita. I made my own text. I edited all of this stuff out, the background color and everything, so I could make it cheaper for myself. And if you're going to do this and you have a little bit of skill with digital art programs like Photoshop or Krita or whatever, I highly recommend doing that. You'll save yourself a little bit of money and a little frustration because, I mean, to their credit, they do provide an editor that lets you add text, that lets you kind of choose background colors, but it's very limited. And if you're trying to do something specific, it can get a little frustrating. So that's just something I wanted to share, first of all. And I can kind of, you'll see they have names and numbers, different designs. You can go to Design Wizard, add clip art, and they have also like some pre-made templates you can use as well. You can also design on both the front and the back of the t-shirt. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry, this is kind of a really low-key, low-tech review. But the next thing I wanted to talk about was the actual price. And they are not cheap. If you're used to paying like 15, 20, even $30 for a t-shirt, these can run you well above $30. I think one of the reasons I selected this particular company is for this particular order, and your experience may be different, but for this particular order, it cost me, with shipping, about $44, maybe $42, I forget the exact amount, but that was before shipping. It was maybe $36, $37, but it ended up being around $40, which to me, I mean, sure, it's a kind of a one-off thing. For me, it was worth it. It is expensive, I agree, for just a t-shirt. But, you know, I wanted a t-shirt that had my logo on it, and so I did it. I said, well, you know, what the heck? Only live once, right? But that can be pretty cost prohibitive. Now, if you're doing a large order of t-shirts, like let's say you've got a team or something, or you expect to sell a whole bunch, I wouldn't go this route for the purpose of selling them. Even with the reduction in cost at doing like say 100 or 1,000, to me it seems a little bit counter productive to spend the amount you're going to spend. If you're doing like 10 or 20, and again, I know it does get cheaper the more you buy. You'll have to go into these individual applications and programs, or rather websites. Again, Rush Order Tees is just the one I decided to select on, but there were others I looked at. Just like with getting custom decals made, you run into that issue of, you know, is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Are you going to spend so much money that it really is just not worth it for you? And for each person, they're going to have to make their own decision about it. But for me, I was happy with the result. The colors came out well. How well it'll do in the wash, how long this will last, I mean, I don't know. And as far as that sort of faint square that I mentioned from where it gets impressed on the t-shirt, again, you know, that might bother you more than it bothers me. I think for the cost that you're paying, I would have probably preferred not to have seen that, but I'm not going to sweat it. I mean, you know, no one else is really going to see me wearing this except around the house. I just wanted to have one for kicks. Will I be giving these to my subscribers? No, not right now. It's pretty cost prohibitive for me to spend, you know, $30 or $40 to spend on one t-shirt to give to one person. And then also there's the shipping and everything. It's just not worth it. You know, I'm not going to blow $50 every time somebody wants a t-shirt. Even if I sold them, which honestly, I'd probably end up just giving them away as gifts or prizes or something. But I don't think I'd go this route. Just full for clarity, I am not giving away or selling T-shirts of my website. I mean, not my website, my YouTube channel. But I just wanted to share my experience with this particular company. Again, that was Rush Order Tees. I'll put the link down below if you're interested. Again, I don't get any commission for this stuff. My experience was okay. The turnaround time, I want to say, was about 2 weeks. It showed up about 3 days earlier than it was originally scheduled. Or maybe, no, even sooner than that. I think it was about 6 days earlier than it was supposed to be scheduled. I was supposed to get this on the 19th. I ended up getting a couple of days ago on the 13th of January. So it took a little less than 2 weeks. Now, it could be my physical location, or it could have been they weren't busy enough to be hassled by doing one T-shirt. So I don't know. I don't know what the reason is, but I did get a little earlier than I thought. Again, your experience may vary, but so if you guys are ever interested in doing some online custom T-shirt designs for yourself, you can do it online. It is possible. There are a variety of colors and designs and other things. You can upload your own design. There's a lot of different materials to choose from. The only thing I'd recommend is do your research. Don't just go with the first website you get to. Maybe go to like 4 or 5 or 6. Look at reviews. Look at examples of stuff they put out. If there's a phone number, give them a call. Just, you got questions. Hey, how do you do this? What colors do you use? Is there any way I can save money on how I put mine together? I think in general, most of those folks are probably pretty helpful about providing you with that type of information. I have done custom T-shirts for myself in the past, and in general, when I've called, they've usually been pretty helpful. But this particular one, I wanted to try something different. I tried a different company than the one I'd used before, and I'm not dissatisfied with the results. Again, if you go back in this video and look at the sort of imprint I was talking about, and there again, I already knew this going in. It wasn't a shock, but it just didn't bother me enough to really worry about it. So. There again, if you want to check out this company, Rush Order Tees, or any other company, and you're interested in doing this type of stuff yourself, if you got the cash to blow, let's say $45, go for it. I'm not saying you should spend that much on a T-shirt by any means. I generally would not, but I just want to do something special. Make my little logo for my YouTube channel character, mascot, whatever you want to call them. And that's it. That's all I got to say. So thanks again for watching. You know what, real quick before the actual T-shirt. And yeah, I know it looks wider than it does on the screen, but you have to keep in mind that on the screen, it's probably doing it from the perspective of this is going to be worn on a person. So it ends up looking more like this, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the way it came out. The colors came out nice and vibrant. It's very crisp. There's no like little digital lines. The material is, again, it's very, very soft. And this color process that they use to put this thing on here, pretty impressive. So like I said, maybe I'll follow up in a couple of months after I wash this thing a half a dozen times. And we'll see if it held up. We'll do a follow-up. But anyway, thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Keep an eye out for some more videos. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. Can always use more subscriptions. Incidentally, I'm just under 30 away from 500, which makes things a lot easier for me. The more subscribers you get, the more time I have and a little bit of incentive I've got to make more videos. Anyway, talk to you guys later.